Doctors, the Flick. And check out Doin Time for news, views and tunes on prison issues from Guantanamo Bay to Christmas Island to prisons and detention centres everywhere. Every Monday at 4 p.m. on your community radio 3CR.
We are still fired up and we're still talking about revolution.
6 years I've been in prison.
Beyond the Bars is 3CR's annual prison project, giving voice to our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander inmates right across Victoria.
It's good to be here because Aboriginal radio and you don't really get to do this much. Brings us all together.
Time, you'll get your time to take that first step out that front door to freedom beyond these walls.
And I just want to say thank you to all of you for giving us the opportunity to speak on air.
The bigger the reason, the bigger the calling. Make your commitment and watch things unfold.
And you can listen to audio from this year's broadcasts and previous years as well, online at any time. Just go to 3cr.org.au/Beyond the Bars.
But also, while I'm here, I'd like to say thank you for coming, helping, giving us a chance to do this. It's really good, you know. It's been going for a while now. Hopefully it keeps going. You know, like it's good that we can do this and get our voice out there as prisoners.
We can't blame everything on the external, so let's stop looking for it in the hands of the persecutor, because real power comes from here and it comes from family.
If you would like us to post you a free CD, contact the station on 03 9419 8377.
Hello and welcome to the Doin Time show. This is 3CR Community Radio, 855 AM on the dial, streaming live on www.3cr.org.au. Today I have quite a few guests in the studio and I'll speak about that in a second, but I just wanted to give a little bit of an outline first of all about what is coming up on the show. I'll be welcoming them on air soon, but I wanted to introduce three wonderful people from Justice for Refugees. And actually, let's introduce you first. And their names are Zahra, Mas, and Hassan. Welcome. And Hassan, say hello.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Hi. Thank you very much. Really appreciate for your support. Thank you.
Yeah, and you're all refugees. And Zahra?
Yes, hello.
And Mas.
Hi.
But really, your full name, what is it?
My full name is Masoumer.
Masoumer, that's it. Beautiful. And we're going to be talking very soon and giving a report back, and that's the first item on the show. We're going to be giving a report back very soon about the rally that happened on Saturday. And these three guests came by boat, and we're going to be speaking about visas and all sorts of things and talk about a rally that happened in the city. And one of the demands is to repeal the fast track. And we're going to be talking a bit about that shortly. Then after that, we're going to be speaking with Latoya, who is an Aboriginal activist from Western Australia. From Adelaide, I beg your pardon, from South Australia. And she is going to be speaking about her brother, Wayne Fella Morison, who died in custody in 2016. I'm hoping also to read out a statement from the Day family and to report on the inquest that has been happening into Tanya Day's death, who died in police custody. And I will be speaking with Latoya about that as well. I wanted to actually have her on to honour the family, but also to speak with her about deaths in custody in general. And then hopefully after that we're going to be speaking with Dt, who is an Indigenous activist who is one of the campaigners for the sacred trees. The sacred trees are in Araat. They are birthing trees on women's country and women's business, and Vic Roads want to desecrate them and take them off to build a highway And we've done a lot of extensive work on that, interviewing on that. It's approximately 4:04, and we'll speak first with the three guests. But before we do, just a quote from the media release: Melbourne Rally, part of national refugee rallies for permanent visas, family reunions and fair processing. Refugee communities have come together to call national protests for permanent visas, family reunion rights and fair processing. And on Saturday, the 14th of September, there was a rally. And there's a quote here: "We are calling on the Morison Coalition Government to end discrimination and unfair treatment of asylum seekers living in Australia, reinstate a fair and thorough assessment process with appeal rights." So let's start off with you, Zahra.
Yes.
Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and talk about what happened at the rally and whatever else you want to say?
Yeah, I came in here in 2013 with my family. First, we got in Christmas Island, and they took us to the camp. We stayed here for like one month, and then they sent us to another camp, and we stayed there for 1 month as well. And then we got out of the detention center. They sent us to the Melbourne, and then we had no right to study, but because we were underage, we were like able to study. We had no right to get to work. After that, after 2 years, they gave us right to work, but because my family had a medical condition, we couldn't work. So after that, I finished my year 12 in 2017, and I got graduated, but I could not be able to study. I got offer from Federation University in Bachelor's of Nursing and Midwifery, but because of my visa, I could not be able to do it so. And then I got to do a TAFE course in paramedics. And I'm just asking, the government to give us the right to study, to give us our visa, to go and see our family. Last year, I've lost my grandmother. She was waiting for us for almost 6 years. And we could not see her. We just want to ask him to give us visa so we can go and see them, and to help us, all asylum seekers, to go and see our families, to study, because we have great skills and we can make an excellent contribution to this country. There's many students who are asylum seekers and wants to get to the university, but they are not able to do so. Yeah. My brother, he wants to finish it, his study, and to get to do lawyer, but he could not. So now he's at the hospital. He's stressed out. There's lots of people in here, they are stressed out from this situation. We just want a fair treatment from the government, that's all.
You know, that's true, and I know that the three of you are all refugees, aren't you?
Yeah, we are all refugees.
And all of you came by boat, and one of the things that's quite evident with the coalition government is that Scott Morrison actually made a statement a couple of weeks ago about the Tamil family, when the Tamil family were being taken out of, they wanted to deport them.
Yes.
And the government was saying that people that come by boat are not refugees. Now, that's simply not true.
No, it's not true.
And it must be very distressing, for all of you. And I was listening to all your stories just before we came in. And Mas, I believe you want to be a teacher or a lawyer?
Hello, yes. So at the start, when I came to Australia, I'd always had a dream to be a lawyer because that's what my family wanted me to do as well. But I couldn't because of all the things that they told me, and most importantly, it was because we did not have the right to study. As Zahra just mentioned, before we were 18, we were able to study because that was something compulsory for us. But after that, we had so many dreams. Me, myself, I had a dream to be a lawyer, but I couldn't. And there was no such a pathway to do so. So I found another thing, which was becoming a teacher. So I had so much research about it, and then I realized I can be a teacher aide, which is, it's like close to a teacher, but like, you're not a teacher still. But I was like, yeah, I give it a go because I love children. I love spending time with them, and I can be a good role model for them.
Of course.
Yep. So I studied in the TAFE, and now I'm a teacher aide in the school, and like, it's something really, I don't know how to explain that, but like what I see in the school every day, they teach kids to stop discriminating and respect refugees, but I don't really see that outside the school environment in real life, because with us, like with 30,000 of us, it's not only me and my family, it's like 30,000 people. It was a big discrimination against us from the time we came here. Before that, there was no term such as asylum seeker, but like from the time we came to Australia, we were not known as refugees. Wherever we go, like to study, to anything, they will call us asylum seeker or people seeking asylum, which is, which I think we should be called refugees. We have the right to be a refugee because even the most important thing in life, like we put our life in a big danger because we had to run away from our countries because of either war or persecution or anything like that. Our countries were not safe anymore for us to live there.
Yeah, it's true. And, you know, listening to both you and Zahra speaking, I mean, when I first saw you, I said, you're refugees. I didn't say asylum seeker, I don't think. True. And I think that one of the things that when we were speaking off air, I think you were going to Christmas. You had been to Christmas Island, both of you, hadn't you? Yes. Before you got here. Yeah. And Hassan, I believe you went to Curtin, didn't you?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So all of you have experienced the brutalities of Christmas Island and violations of human rights. And from what I can gather, you know, all of you are young. You're wanting to do. You've got dreams, and you're becoming useful members of the community. Yeah. And it's incredibly difficult, isn't it? Yeah, but I believe there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I think things are going to work out. And Hassan, what about you? I know you said you didn't want to talk, but no, you didn't really say that. I'm just joking.
Thank you very much.
You're very good at your English, so
thank you so much.
Don't worry. So what visa are you on, Hassan?
Now I am Chef visa. So this is visas, they're giving me 5 years, and I have to stay for the countryside. So before everything, I would like to thank you first, and thank every Australian people, if anyone live for this nice land and supporting us, and seriously, we really appreciate for the last rally, for everyone supporting us. It's very difficult. Today we have so many issues. Today we have a lot of family. They are struggling with their life. So when we came, firstly I'm gonna talk. Always I said I don't like to talk about myself, but I have to explain that.
It's okay.
Yeah, I born in Kuwait as a stateless, so I don't have citizenship for my country. And we don't have any rights there because that's why I against the government by protest, same like what we did last week. Because that's why the Kuwait government, they put me in the jail 40 days. And this is what I mentioned before, because they not give me the citizen, so I don't have any passport, I don't have any even drive license there. Because that's why I have to come by boat for Australia, because when I come for Australia for the kind mom, to just I can have fair with the refugee, and I want my life is going to be safe.
Yeah.
So when I arrived here, 2012. So when I get in the community for the Brisbane, first thing they give me the visa is called subclass 050. This means you're not allowed to study, you're not allowed to work, and you have to sign for the behavior. Behavior, this means if you, even you have fine for the traffic or anything, you have to go back for the detention center.
Okay.
So after that, I just stayed 2 years without any work. So it's my situation. It was very, very difficult. Even I was homeless because I can't support, I don't have any support. I can't study, I can't work, I can't do anything.
And now?
After 2 years, they give the right to work. After that, I start working. Now I am self-employer, so I'm working and I'm taxpayer.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sorry, we've got about 6 minutes left, but you'll be coming back to speak in a sec, Hassan.
Yeah.
But that's wonderful. But it's wonderful, but it's not wonderful because you've still got a long way to go. You're still not able to have that permanent visa yet.
True.
And Zahra and Mas, I don't think you've got the visa that Hassan's got, have you?
No.
You're on the bridging visa, aren't you?
Yes.
So Chev visa means safe haven, huh?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a safe haven to me, but anyway.
Actually.
But just to give a quick report back of the rally, though, and I believe, who was the speaker? Weren't you one of the speakers?
Yes.
Mas? Yeah.
Yep. I was the main speaker who started the rally.
At the State Library on Saturday? Yep.
Yes. And I was really shocked because, a huge crowd of people came to that day. I thought it's only going to be, about maybe hundreds of people, but, I saw 1,000 and 1,000. And after the rally, I watched for Sydney, Perth, Brisbane. It was the same thing, a huge crowd of people in all the cities of Australia.
National. Yep.
Yeah, and, they were not only refugees, they were also, people who are, with Australian background. And besides that, there was people who are really important to the country, well known, like Jet Carney, who is the Labor MP, Richard D. Natali, who is the Green leader, and also Hakeem El Arabi, who is the Australian footballer, and he had a talk to Mr. Morison about his visa as well.
That's good, isn't it?
Yes, so they all came, we appreciated, they had a very good talk that day. Yeah, there was so many channels who came there, record the rally, but I was shocked because I've been waiting 2 days now and... Nothing. I haven't seen anything on any channel. I've been going up and down the channels to see if I can see all the people who did the protest and stuff, but nah.
It's very difficult, and well, at least you've got something here. True. But just to quickly read out some of the demands, and I started to read those just so that people know: end criminalisation and unfair treatment of asylum seekers, well, they call them asylum seekers, but that's okay. Living in Australia, reinstate a fair and thorough assessment process with appeal rights, permanent protection visas for all those recognised as refugees, allow family reunion rights, and those are some of the demands. So pretty soon, we've got about 2 minutes before we get into our next interview. Hopefully you three can stick around and we can talk a little bit more afterwards. Is that okay?
Yes. Okay, thank you.
So, because I want a chance to be able to speak about justice for refugees as well. And who organised the rally? The Refugee Action Collective?
Yeah.
Hassan is the organizer who is just with us today. He's one of them for our city, for Melbourne, but there are other people for Sydney, for Brisbane, for Perth who are also working with him.
Fantastic. So next up on the show, we're going to be speaking hopefully with Latoya, who is a very strong Aboriginal woman and Indigenous activist who will speak generally about deaths in custody, and hopefully we will be able to speak a little bit about the inquest of Tanya Day as well. I will be interviewing a lot of other people about this, and she's the first one that's going to kick off the commentary, and we'll talk about that pretty soon. So stand by, the three of you, and we'll talk again soon. I'll just put on an announcement.
Thank you.
Red alert. Numbers are needed at the Djapurung Heritage Protection Embassy camps immediately. Sacred birthing trees on Djab Wurrung country need protecting. Over 50 generations have been born on these sites, and the birthing trees themselves are 800 years old. These trees are being protected from the Victorian Labor Party's planned highway extension that is set to destroy this sacred dreaming landscape. The campaign to protect country is led by Djab Wurrung traditional owners who are calling on people from all walks of life for support. You can help by joining traditional owners at the camp on Djab Wurrung country near Araat, or by donating and putting pressure on Daniel Andrews to protect this sacred land. Visit dwembassy.com for more information and updates. No trees, no treaty.
And you're back with the Doin Time show, and we're speaking now with Latoya. Hello, Latoya. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me. How are you going?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. In fact, with me at the moment, I also have 3 refugees as well who are in the studio too. So I've got Zahra, I've got Mas, and I've got Hassan.
Oh, hello to all of you.
Hello.
Hello.
So, Latoya, we were speaking off air basically the other day just about Aboriginal deaths in custody, and I was just mentioning on the show that I was going to start off commentary about the inquest of Tanya Day, and I believe you were there for some of that. And I also mentioned as well that, and my condolences still, because you never get over something like this, that your brother also died in custody as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Let me hear some of your, because all this is public. That we can't, all the stuff's public in court. What were your insights of? What did you feel about the inquest?
My own brother's inquest has been on hiatus for a little bit. It's been stalled for a little while now, and so I haven't sat in for a few months. But going back to an inquest, just generally, when we're discussing anybody's death, is quite depressing and quite serious. And so, going into an Aboriginal woman's death, particularly, it was very heavy. A lot of the people, I guess we'll start from the first day.
Yeah.
We met up at where Camp Sovereignty used to be in Melbourne. It's on a hill. I forget where that's actually called, but it
Domain.
was a place of Domain.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a place of Camp Sovereignty, which was really symbolic to meet there. And we had a smoking ceremony and said a few words, a few of us, with the media there. And then we all walked down together as a united front down to the court.
That was late August.
Late August. Heading into that space with everybody was just, it was very powerful. But, of course, ending up at the court, we have to all go through security. And so I think, when we're thinking about surveillance, moving into that place in and out, our bodies were largely surveilled in many ways. And so that kind of set the scene for what we would have experienced inside court, inside the coroner's court. Heading in, there are a lot of supporters on both sides. Our side was on the left with the family, behind the family, and the police side was on the right. Their side was full, majority of the week and a half that I was there for the inquest. Our side was also full, with an overflow room as well, people to be able to see on the TV, for young children and stuff like that. And in both rooms, it was just really heavy, really, really heavy having to watch the proceedings, having to particularly watch police laugh and joke about the circumstances surrounding Aunty Day's death. There was it wasn't that they were just making fun of the death straight out necessarily, but there was banter going on.
I heard about that.
There's just an insensitivity when it's around somebody's death. You've got Aunty Tanya Day's family sitting on the front, her children sitting on the front seats there, and, every single day, majority of the police officers actually said, when questioned by Morrissey, the family's lawyer, if they would have done anything differently, majority of them said that they wouldn't have.
Correct.
So that was quite shocking. Yeah, it was just sad. It was just a sad time, to be honest.
It is very sad. And just in case listeners have tuned in, this is the Doin Time Show. And just wanted to set the scene here. In December 2017, 55-year-old Yorta grandmother Tanya Day was arrested for public drunkenness in Castlemaine. 17 days later, she died from a traumatic brain injury suffered when she fell in a police cell. And Latoya, it's been more than 3 decades ago, isn't it, that the Royal Commission into Aboriginal Deaths in Custody exposed the vile treatment of Aboriginal people in the justice system?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been, since 1991. And majority of those recommendations are still yet to be implicated. They're still yet to be, heard, I guess, and put into our state processes and procedures of police and corrections officers. And that's one of the downfalls, I think, of where we're at with Aboriginal deaths in custody, that majority of these deaths, particularly around public drunkenness that we see time and time again, this was all, research. This all had money poured into it over the years. And, it's still one of the main causes of Aboriginal deaths in custody. Really punitive measures against Aboriginal people.
Extremely punitive. And for the first time in Australia, this inquest into Aunty Tanya is examining the role played by systemic racism.
Yeah, I think it's such an incredible feat that the lawyers and the family have taken on, and one that can greatly impact our own case, and the cases of many people, because, again, it's easy. In my own research, just this year in my honours thesis, I systemically traced the implications of the colonial project on the death in custody of Miss Dew and a little bit of my own brother's death, and just looking at the way that we've been constructed and the systemic links going back to 1788 and the policies and procedures that existed there, not much has changed.
Indeed, it hasn't.
We're still being told where we can move. We're still being told how we have to conduct ourselves and what we are to say in public. And we're still being criminalised in terms of, our access to resources, how we choose to conduct ourselves in public. Like, Aunty Tanya Day was literally allegedly asleep on a train. But that's an offence to the coloniser, because that's an Aboriginal woman conducting her, being a sovereign person in public, and choosing, I guess, falling asleep where she wished. I mean, symbolically, that's actually a huge movement of resistance, if we want to really think about that, what it means to actually stop and sit and find rest where we want on Aboriginal land.
Absolutely, and yet V-Line was saying that she was unruly.
Yeah, that term was such a disgusting one. It is a disgusting one that's being used against Tanya and many people, the way the police identified what unruly even is. I mean, majority of the people, I could walk outside in Adelaide right now and under those definitions find a lot of unruly people, and maybe majority of those might be white people drinking at the local pub tonight, and so they're not being arrested for their rowdy behaviour. So,
exactly. What's happening? Yeah. So your brother's inquest is at an impasse at the moment. What's happening? Is it culturally, is it okay to mention his name, Latoya?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our family okay with that.
So his full name, please?
Wayne Fella Morison.
So Wayne Fella Morison, what's happening with? There's no inquest at the moment.
So it's actually the corrections officers, 19 of them, are taking. So earlier in the year, the coroner was asked by the corrections officers' lawyers to recuse herself, to step down from the case, as they're, alleging that she has an interest or a bias. That's not on our family side. We've actually said that, no, we want the coroner to stay. We want this inquest to, run its course. It's been 3 years since Wayne died on the 26th of this month, so next week.
It is
and
true.
It's been a whole year. Yeah, it's been a whole year since the actual inquest has been going as well. So
I'm so glad that I was able to get you on before the anniversary.
Yeah, thank you. I do appreciate it. But, in saying that, we don't want the coroner to step down because of this length of time, that we've been speaking, you and I particularly, over that time, and it's a long time running.
Yep.
And it's tiring, and you're not able to grieve properly, really, ever, but not knowing what happened to Wayne, particularly in that van with the 7 officers, is really concerning. So, unfortunately, the corrections officers are taking the coroner and the Attorney General to the Supreme Court, as they don't feel that she's carried herself well in court and has also potentially obscured the right that they have, the legal right against self-incrimination. So making the corrections officers attend court, the coronial inquest, this is not a criminal court, this is investigating the cause of death of my brother. Apparently that's too much for them to do. And they don't even want to attend. They don't even want to show up and see our faces.
So there's been no inquest at all?
There has been.
Oh, no, there was an inquest, but nothing happened. Nothing changed.
So the inquest is on a break at the moment, essentially, for this Supreme Court case to run its course. So that will be in November 26th to 28th. We do want people to come over and cover our story and support our case. So it would be great if people would consider that, because this is one of the first times, if not the first time, I haven't done my background research, but, an Aboriginal death in custody to go to the Supreme Court so that corrections don't actually have to show up to give evidence on what happened.
Wow.
Those who were the last people to listen and see Wayne when he was still alive. That goes against the Royal Commission into Aboriginal Death in Custody recommendation about having, initiating inquest at all. Why would we have an inquest at all then, if not for this report? And what does it mean for the corrections to wield power to say that those recommendations that came from that huge report and that huge investigation into Aboriginal deaths and lives, that's really rendered invisible and doesn't matter.
There's no date set yet, is there?
So November 26th to the 28th of this year will be the Supreme Court case.
So November the 26th to the 28th is the inquest into Wayne Fella Morison at the Supreme Court in Adelaide, so people can start rocking up to that. And just so that listeners are aware, and I have done this, spoken with Latoya, but it's always good to keep repeating. Wayne Fella Morison died in custody on 26 September 2016 from, basically we don't know why, but it included a spit hood and restraint. He died of suffocation. And he was a 29-year-old father, a fisherman and an artist. And he'd been on remand, hadn't he, for 6 days prior to his death, and he spent 3 days on life support in the intensive care unit of the Royal Adelaide Hospital in South Australia. Is that right, Latoya?
That's right.
And he'd never been in trouble with the law?
No, and there were over 14 corrections officers, as people might have seen in the media. There's a video of him that's been posted. The coroner's released that earlier on in his restraint, and there's over 14 corrections officers who have been part of that restraint process, and then another 7 in the van that we don't know what happened at all to him, who, again, haven't given evidence in court or, at all.
Yeah, so let's see if we can get to that inquest. And it would have... It's a domino effect, isn't it, Latoya? Your brother passed away in custody. You went and supported Aunty Tanya and her family here in Melbourne. There are lots and lots. Miss Dew has died in custody. And it just... The list goes on and on.
It does, but you know what? The empowerment that I felt also in that inquest, as sad as it was, to see all the community members come, to see elders give a statement at the beginning of the inquest to yarn about who Aunty Tanya Day was as a sovereign woman, what that meant for our community and the work that she done in standing up against Aboriginal deaths in custody. That's the power of why we keep getting up and doing what we do.
That's right.
I know that that's going to grow. And so, we have to remember that as much resistance as we face, we continually get up every day and continue that our side of our resistance. And, it's ongoing. It's an ongoing fight, but we're building it more and more.
Absolutely. And we're going to have to finish soon because we're going to be speaking with Zahra and her friends here pretty soon again. But
Beautiful.
Our solidarity does extend, doesn't it, to the refugees who are really, the government has no right to not welcome them in the country. They're not even Aboriginal.
That's right. On whose behalf are they welcoming anybody, really, you know? And, yeah, all my solidarity and love to, all refugees as well who acknowledge and you know, have relationships built on trust and respect with Aboriginal people as well. You know, the respect goes both ways.
I'm hoping to have Hassan, Zahra and Mas here more often to see what we can do. But, Latoya, I know I'm kind of pushing it a bit here because we've got our next interview, but I did want to just quickly say to you how in 2015, I believe you posted a video to the ABC's Q&A television program calling on the Australian Government to respond to the pressing issue of Aboriginal deaths in custody over symbolic reform. Did that video ever go to air?
It didn't.
What?
That was a question. No. You know, a lot of people upload their questions to Q&A. I've since been on Q&A 2 or 3 times now, so it's okay.
Right.
But,
Good.
But it was just funny well, it's not funny at all. It's tragic that I posted that, and now I don't rely on the government at all. Hey, I rely on our community-led and global-built movements against prisons and police and colonisation, really.
Absolutely. Latoya, thank you so much for coming onto the program. It was lovely to have you. Yep. You there?
Yep, thanks for having me.
No, it's all good. And I'll spread the word on the show about the November Supreme Court inquest.
Deadly. Thank you so much. All my love.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Del. Bye-bye. And that was Latoya speaking about Aboriginal deaths in custody and Aunty Tanya Day. And what did you three think of that?
We are just really sorry to hear that, but, you know, I only thought it's only us, but it's like their land and they don't have the right to do whatever they want. I'm really sorry to hear that.
It's awful. And they had all this footage too, how she fell over in the cell. It was just terrible at that inquest. I was there.
It's sad.
For 5 days. It is sad. So we're going to be speaking pretty soon with DT about the sacred trees, and then I'm hoping we're going to have just a little bit more time just for the three of you to say some final words. But really, I hope it's okay. I hope it's you're not uncomfortable about being here because I've invited you for the whole show to honour you all. So I hope that's okay.
No, thank you for having us here today.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So I think I'm going to put on an announcement now, and we'll go from there in a sec. So, but in the meantime, here we go. Oh, where are we? Okay.
Victoria's roadside drug testing program is not about road safety. In last year's governmental inquiry into drug law reform, it was noted that Victoria's RDT program is falling behind on latest evidence regarding impairment. Currently, Victoria Police can charge people for detection of either cannabis, amphetamines or MDMA. But those detections do not correlate with impairment. Impaired drivers should be removed from the roads, and that's why we're urging an inquiry into Victoria's RDT scheme to ensure that the resources that are currently employed to make our roads safer are being properly used to make our roads safer. Help us refocus road safety onto what makes roads safe. Sign the e-petition parliament.vic.gov.au/council/petitions. And look for the Inquiry into Drug Driving Reform, Petition 117.
A 3CR supporter.
And you're back with the Doin Time Show. And we still have Zahra and Mas and Hassan here. So you all had dreams, and we were talking before about how it's important to be able to repeal the fast track. What does that mean? Can someone talk about that?
About the fast track. So before 2014, whoever came to Australia by boat, just like we did, like 90% of them were accepted as refugees and were given permanent protection visas. But from 2014, they just implemented a new law, which was called Fast Track. So this Fast Track tells you if you are married to someone who is even an Australian citizen, you are not eligible to be an Australian citizen. If your children are born here, they are not required to be a citizenship. If you live in Australia even for more than, like, I think it's been like 7 years for us, like even more than that, you cannot register for like permanent protection. You can't apply for that. And you have to stay on the 3-year visa or the 5-year visa, and this visa will be continued on and on and on. And even...
So there's no permanency?
No.
There's no permanency?
No.
And this is Zahra speaking, isn't it?
That's Mass.
Mass, sorry?
Yes.
Mass. Yeah.
That's right.
But you're all young. That's the thing, like you've got all your lives ahead of you, and yet there's no permanency and there's no stability. And
as like so many people say, we're not sure which land are we stepping in. Are we going to stay here? Are we going to be deported? And most importantly, we cannot be deported to our countries because, like, we ran away from there.
Absolutely.
It's not safe for us to go back. But, like, how Tamil family did, they were rejected twice, and like they said, the third rejection means you will be deported back to your unsafe places.
See, that's appalling, and I'm hoping that, that you three and all refugees, get the support that you need, and it's very difficult with this government. I'm going to put in another announcement, and we're going to see what's happening with DT.
Most LGBTIQ people experience positive, intimate and family relationships. However, like cisgendered heterosexual people, some LGBTIQ people experience abuse and violence in their relationships. With Respect is a new family violence service for LGBTIQ plus Victorians, providing counselling and recovery programs for victims and survivors of family violence and help for people using violence who want to stop. With Respect is a partnership between Queer Space, Thorn Harbour Health, Switchboard Victoria and Transgender Victoria. For more information, visit withrespect.org.au or call 1800 542 847. With Respect is not a crisis service. If you need immediate help, call 000.
A 3CR supporter.
And you're back with the Doin Time show, and we're going to be speaking now with DT, and DT is a fantastic Indigenous campaigner who is actually, as we speak, down at the protecting the sacred trees up near Araat. Hello, DT. Welcome to the program.
Hello, sisters. How are you going?
Oh, it's great to have you again. In the studio with me, DT, I also have 3 refugees, Mas, Zahra and Hassan from Justice for Refugees.
Hello, brothers and sisters. How are you?
Hello, very good.
Hello, how are you, mate?
So, DT, tell us what's been going on. Any new updates with the protection of the sacred trees? Has the eviction notice happened yet?
We're still here.
Yeah.
We haven't had a mediation process as yet. I think that's coming up this week at some point, but I think the lawyers and whatnot are dealing with that sort of situation. And yeah, we're just still here on the land and still continuing this process.
And it is a very frustrating process, isn't it? Because these are women's trees, and some of them are birthing trees. And I just worry, DT, I'm wondering, because Vic Rhodes has now said that there's a go-ahead, but also, isn't there also still an opportunity to stop it?
Yeah, there's still many opportunities. There's always opportunity. Even when there's not opportunity, there's always opportunity.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of being able to change those mindsets, in order to be able to those who are making decision about, continuating the decimation, who are not culturally competent and who are not on country and who are not representative of their people. Well, then, if their people are standing there and saying this is not how it works, well, then there's always opportunity to be able to change those mindsets. It's just a matter of how we continue to do that process. And right now, we're doing that through the spirit at this point in time.
The spirit, and also with the campaigning, and you've had a lot of support there, which is really good. And
well, with the spirit comes all the campaigning, comes all the support,
absolutely.
Comes all the brothers and sisters all wanting to continuate the movement. It's and we have a place here where it's not the white influence that we need in our lives. So please don't come here to do that.
No,
it's really you're coming into a space where you really need to be blackwashed in a way where we have indifferences, and our indifferences are due to our cultural basis and our cultural sensitivity, which is which when you come from the space you come from, you're coming from a Westminster world, a Westminster system, which has categorically trained you the way it sees fit, which has always been against our culture. And so that's where we make people have the awareness that when you do get in trouble, it's only because you're not aware of what's going on and you're not aware of the laws and the code that we live by and the duty. And we're trying to teach. So the only way you really learn is to hang around, be prepared to get told off and whatnot, but also be prepared to continuate stepping into your obligation also now that you call this country home. You have an obligation to your First Peoples and their law of their land.
No trees, no treaty.
And that's correct. And that's where we're at. We're in a place where the government is in a relationship, a really ugly relationship, a really toxic, what we call a domestic violence relationship with our women here, and this affects, you affect one set of women, and you affect all women. And so women all over the country, all over the world, are standing up, as well as those who truly, as men who truly know what the honourable thing to do is, and what our law is based upon. Within anywhere you go, it's men's law is based upon, supporting the decision making from our matriarchs and our women leaders, and who are culturally competent, and who at the end of the day say no to this, to no consent to this whole situation coming about.
That's right, DT. And we're nearing the end of our show, but I wanted to have you on, just to get to get a bit of an update. I want to have you on for longer next time, because it's been really packed today, because I've been covering Aunty Tanya Day's inquest as well.
But that's, that's another thing, in the principle of what we stand for, attack on women, that's also, we also stand for that mob as well. We wholeheartedly support that mob. We went and marched to that mob and to show our support the other week.
Yeah, there was a rally in the city, and you went to the court too.
We want to let it be known also that we support our the Tamil family also. We support them in what they're going through.
Absolutely.
And what their children are going through. We want to let that be known. We also let it be known that we are supporting our Mauna Kea brothers and sisters over in Hawaii. And we're also supporting our Aotearoa brothers and sisters over in Ihumātao at the moment, also within their situation. And the movement is continuing to grow within the spirit of the connection around the world, not just around the country. So,
DT, thank you so much for coming onto the program, and I'm really hoping that there can be a resolution soon about this, and that the trees will be protected. And I'll be keeping a close eye on it.
Thank you, my sister. Take care now.
Thanks, brother. Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Thanks. Bye. And that was DT, Indigenous Campaigner, speaking from the sacred trees. And the sad thing is that there is a cheaper option to be able to, that highway, you can actually make a highway without smashing those trees down. And the government just doesn't want to look at that. Pretty soon, with the three of you, we're going to be having a few final comments, but just wanted to quickly read out the statement from the family of Tanya Day that they said at the end of the inquest at a media conference, 13th December 2019, statement of the family of Aunty Tanya Day. This is public knowledge. It's actually on all media. We just gave evidence in a coronial inquest into our mother's death in police custody. No children should have to do this. Our mum should never have been subject to racial discrimination and denied her dignity and right to life. This process has been painful, gruelling and extremely traumatic for our family and our community. We've heard the evidence from Victoria Police, Ambulance Victoria and V-Line. Victoria Police have repeatedly said that nothing has changed and no review has happened as a result of Mum's death. We find this deeply offensive. Victoria Police must take responsibility for Aboriginal people dying in their custody. It is clear to us that the investigation into our mum's death has been flawed and inadequate. This is because police could not be investigating police. We have had a coronial investigation, but what we now want is a criminal investigation. We want to know whether the police who should have cared for Mum committed an offence in denying Mum her dignity and ultimately her life. We want to say thank you to all of our supporters. We want to thank Emma Matheson, Sarah Holland and Michael Stevenson from Ambulance Victoria for their truthful evidence and heartfelt apologies. We note that V-Line has not apologised for the role their conduct played in our mum's death. We note the Victoria Police has not apologised to us or the Aboriginal community for Aboriginal deaths in custody or failing their duty of care for our mum. We want to acknowledge the Victorian Government's commitment to repealing the offence of public drunkenness, but now we need action. We need this dangerous offence to be repealed so that no other Aboriginal people die in custody. And there's a little bit of about their mum, and they say that their mum was a proud Yorta grandmother, auntie and activist. She was passionate about her family, community, and she is missed every single day. She had so much more love and life to give. And it ends, our mother Tanya never can be and never will be defined by what was done to her to cause her death in police custody. Tanya Day will also never be confined or defined by this coronial process. And it's been so great to have you three. Any final comments that any of you want to make? What can the Australian community do to help?
We just need your endless support, as most of yous have done before. We just need endless support. We need you to have our back. If you can, send an email to the MP and ask them for the change of this law for stopping the discrimination against us asylum seekers. And I would like to also thank ASRC, Refugee Action and Refugee Advocacy Networks. Thanks for their endless support, and we just send our love to them. Thanks.
That's really lovely. And Justice for Refugees, that's another collective that you're all in, is it?
Yes, we are all in the Justice for Refugee Action, and we are trying our best to save 30,000 asylum seekers who are in our situation. You know, on the day of the rally, I forgot to mention that there was a guy who came in and everyone thought, oh, he has mental issues and stuff. But at the end, when we just waited there, he spread everything on the floor. He had documents on his hand. He spread them on the floor. He just he was looking at the photo of his daughter, and he was saying, I miss my daughter. I haven't seen my daughter for 7 years now, or maybe more. And there are more people like him that I have met on the rally, and there are more people who could not make it that day, but we are all in the same situation, and there are more worse situations than that. And yeah,
it's really important. What about you, Hassan?
Firstly, thank you very much for inviting us today. Every day I receive a lot of calls from the refugees. People who don't have any support, they don't have any payment, they don't know how to live, not any Medicare. And actually, I lost my friend before 4 months. Actually, my friend, he's died by a cancer, but the issue is because they reject him and they take the Medicare from him. After that, he tried to pay for his, the treatment for the cancer is very expensive if you don't have the Medicare. After that, the Red Cross just once, they pay for him one time. After that, the twice he's pay from his, he's borrowing money and stuff. After that, he can't pay the money and no one support him. And after that, he's die. So today we are talking about 30,000 people, they struggling. They have a lot of issue. So we ask everyone, for anyone living for this nice country, to supporting us and put pressure for the MPs to change this, discrimination law, because seriously, we're suffering 7 years. I'll be honest, we can't explain all this issue for 7 or 8 years past for 1 hour. We have a lot of issue. Yesterday was someone, he told me, Hassan, I don't have food to eat because I don't have any payment.
No payments, yeah.
No payment because they reject him, and a lot of people, we have a lot of issue, and
there are lots and lots of issues, and I'm wondering if the three of you would like to come back.
Absolutely.
Sure. Perhaps we can organise something in the next couple of weeks. Hassan, you've got my number.
Yeah, I got your number.
We can work that out.
Yeah, sure.
Now, Zahra, did you want to say a few words?
Yeah, we're here to speak for our rights. We are just hoping to repeal this fast track, and we're hoping that the government changes this decision, because we are in a midpoint and we don't know if we are staying here or they are deporting us back. We have no future and no legal rights. There's many people who are worried about their future, who are worried about their parents, who are worried about their children's future. We just want Australia to be by our sides, to support us so we can get our visa. There's lots of people who are homeless, who don't have anything to eat, who don't have any future.
Yeah, because they don't have any right to.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And these are isn't it interesting, because there's such an important connection here. You're refugees here, and you're getting substandard treatment. And Aboriginal people are also refugees in their own country.
Yeah.
It's stolen land.
It's stolen land. It's all of you three have had your rights stolen. All refugees have had their rights stolen. True. And, I'm thinking that it's really important to share this information. And I'm very much looking forward to spending more time with you all on air.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's goodbye from Marisa, and goodbye from Zahra. You say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yep. Goodbye.
And goodbye.
Thank you very
Clearer,
much.
louder, Hassan.
Hassan, thank you very much. I really appreciate for everything.
We all need to have a voice, don't we? And have a very loud voice.
Exactly.
Exactly. And this is go on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So this is what I'm saying. We're going to continue. We're going to ask for our rights. We're never going to give up.
No, we're not going to go away.
We're going to continue. And even if all the channels, they're not put our protest, I don't know what's going on with them. But we're going to continue to do that until we come, all the 30,000 people, for asking for our rights. We have to end the fast track.
Absolutely. So it's Beyond Zero up next, and it's goodbye to everybody, including our prisoners and people in detention. Stay together. Stay safe.
Are you the one who's got